What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Firstly, thank you to all of those who have subscribed to this channel recently. Very, very grateful. And yeah, I love that you guys are enjoying the content that I'm putting out. And yeah, it makes me really excited to get on here and create some more videos for you guys and to help more people understand themselves and hopefully you can take some things away from these videos and to improve your own life or to better yourself in some way, because being a men's coach and helping men, live more freely and live life with more clarity and confidence, to have better relationships, be better fathers for their children, and to leave a legacy on this earth is what I'm all about. So that is what I'm hoping that these videos are doing for men out there. Now, today, what we're going to be talking about is breaking out of comfortable cycles. And what I mean by that is if we start getting in our comfortable routines and we're just going about our day, doing the same things every single day, week in, week out, for months on end, we start to sort of get into a self-driving mode, right? Like a Tesla, you put the Tesla on self-drive mode. I don't have a Tesla, never been in one. I don't even know how those things freaking work. I think it's weird that you can just set the car to drive by itself. Crazy concept. But similar concept to what I'm talking about here. You can just set yourself to self-drive mode. You wake up at the same time every day. Maybe you go to the gym in the morning, you go to the same gym, you talk to the same people, you're doing the same workouts. Maybe you're eating the same foods, drinking out of the same drink bottle, going to work, talking to the same people at work, doing the same job again and again and again, coming home, watching the same TV show, eating the same dinner, having the same conversation with your wife or your girlfriend, doing the same shit with your kids, and all of the things in between. And you're just going about life autonomously. You don't even have to think. It's so unconscious. And what ends up happening is you get in this like repetitive cycle, similar to going to the gym. Like the more you repeat something, the more you're conditioned to it, right? Like, going to draw an example. We keep going, doing the same things all the freaking time. And we just keep going round. I need to draw this so much bigger. First time I've tried to draw an example for a YouTube video, and I just realized that, you guys probably need to see things a little bit better than me. So I've got the page right here in front of me. Anyway, you guys can see that. So if you keep doing the same things again and again and again, talking to the same people, doing the same shit day in, day out, and the more you repeat it, the more you're going to condition yourself to it, right? Like, think about going to the gym for the first time. Maybe when you performed a deadlift or a squat or a bench, push ups, any of those movements for the first ever time. Think back, however long ago it was, to the first time you performed a squat. How clunky does it feel? It feels so weird to like grip the bar. Maybe you use the bar pad, the first time. I know the first time I did squats, I got told that I had to use the bar pad until, later on in life, I realized that that is absolutely not what you should be doing. So, free piece of advice, stop using a freaking bar pad when you're doing squats. You have natural bar pads built into your body. They're called traps. But the first time I did squats, I remember it being so weird and it felt so foreign to me. Like I had no freaking clue what I was doing until I did it again and again and again, repeated the movement, repeat until I conditioned myself to the movement. My body knew what to do. And now when I go to squat, I don't even have to think about it. It is so unconscious. And the same theory can be applied to your everyday life. If you're doing the same thing day in, day out, you're coming home from work, big day at work, you open up social media and you're doom scrolling every single day. And sometimes you don't even think about it. It's that unconscious because you're on self-driving mode. You don't have to think. Sometimes you just do. Don't have to think. It's already set in your mind. You're already doing it because you're in this comfortable cycle. You're still going around and around and around, doing the same thing again and again and again and again. And the more you do it, the more you condition yourself, the easier it becomes to just stay in the cycle. And that is one of the most detrimental places that we can get as men. If we just get in our comfortable cycles, we are wasting our life away. We're pretty much not even living. All we're doing is waiting for death to come knocking on our door. And that is the worst possible place you can be as a man. That is where everything starts to go wrong. It's where depression can start to pop up. It's where anxiety pops up. Because what ends up happening, and they call it a midlife crisis, is something will happen that's out of your control, and that breaks this cycle. And we call it a midlife crisis. But what really happens is, maybe you lose your job or something like that, and you like freak out because you've instantly broken yourself out of that conditioning that you've been in for months and years, decades of your life, maybe for some. And something happens that snaps you out of it and you freak out and you're like, oh crap, now what am I going to do? What am I going to do with my life? Because the cycle was broken by something external to yourself. You had no control over it. And then you feel like you're losing control of everything, lose control of your life. You sell the house, you buy a fancy car, all these kinds of things, and you do something drastic. Versus if we have something to break our own cycle now, we have a little bit of an intervention before any of that stuff happens, way before any of that stuff even gets close to happening. We can have an intervention with ourselves and we can break the cycle ourselves. How do we do that, Jacob? Well, you're in the right place. I'm going to tell you. So simple, so easy. To break the cycle ourselves, we just need to do things differently. So I want you to take responsibility for everything in your life right now. And this is something you can do right now. You can get a piece of paper out, you can write it all down. Take responsibility for some of the things that are going on in your life. For example, for me, years ago, I was spending way too much time on my phone, just binge watching YouTube videos. You know how you get on you get to the depths of YouTube and you don't even know how you got there. You start watching, I was watching grand final highlights from 2007 or 2008, and then all of a sudden I'm watching marks of the year from 1990 to 2020, and then I'm watching analysis videos on this semi-final win from blah blah blah, and whatever it might be. It's just the most random crap. So for me, I had to take responsibility for the fact that I was spending way too much time on my phone. And the thing that really worked for me that could work for you is when I started writing down, all these unresourceful actions and unresourceful things that I was doing. I was like, yeah, I'm wasting my time doing this. I'm wasting my time doing this. I'm wasting my time doing this, wasting my time doing that, blah, 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 all these things. The thing that really got it for me was I spoke it out loud to somebody. I spoke it out loud to my wife, spoke it out loud to my best mate. And I was like, hey, I spend this much time watching YouTube videos when I should be spending that time with my wife. And for me to even say that, for me to be like, oh man, I was like, oh, that's gross. I'm choosing my little tiny iPhone over my beautiful wife who's right there in front of me. I'm choosing to watch grand final freaking highlights over spending time and having a cup of tea with my beautiful wife. So when I spoke it out loud, for me personally, I was just like, oh man, I need to stop doing that shit right now. And that was my intervention. It was just like, bang, stop doing it. And then from there, once I took responsibility, made a plan, had to make a plan moving forward. So I was like, cool, well, if I'm not going to be doing that anymore, what will I be doing? What things do I want to put in place that are going to make me have a new cycle that I'm going to have to repeat again and again and again to condition myself, because this cycle works both ways. We can get in that negative cycle, really comfortable in our routines, comfortable in our ways. We can flip it on its head to do things that are actually going to help us move forward with our life, live life with such clear purpose, clarity, direction. And this is stuff that I do at my men's events, Invictus. This is exactly the kind of process we do. I'm leading you through it in person, obviously, at Invictus, but this is something you can do right now in your own life. Take responsibility for the things that aren't serving you right now. Maybe it is spending too much time on social media. Maybe it's watching porn. Maybe it's spending, who knows what it is, whatever it might be. Maybe you're like wasting time gaming or something like that. It can be anything. Take responsibility for it, write it down. And if you need to, speak it out to someone. Make it feel like it's just something you do not want to keep doing. Break the cycle, have an intervention with yourself. Stop wasting your life. If you're watching this, guaranteed you know that you are destined for so much more and you can feel you have a little bit more potential within yourself. From there, creating a new plan. So then we're setting 1 to 5 things daily, 1 to 5 commitments daily that we can do every single day. They're going to help you move forward. They're going to help you create a more positive cycle to feel better about yourself. So for me, more presence with my wife. So every day, I'm spending time with my wife, being present with my wife, having a cup of tea, having a conversation, reviewing our day, reviewing our week. Where's our relationship at? Where are we going? How are the kids? Yeah, everything. It was just like be more present with my wife. Once I did that every day for 30 days, it just became a normal thing because I was so conditioned to it. And now that is the new normal in my marriage. With business, it was like, cool, need to do this and need to do this. So I started doing those things for 30 days. And what do you know? Business started growing, more success for clients. Finances started getting better. Freedom with my time started getting better. I got to spend more time with my kids. I need to feel more confident within myself. So, of course, I started setting a more solid gym routine and showing up for myself because when I'm moving well and when I feel good in my body, my confidence just goes through the roof. Once I did that for 30 days, I found myself conditioning myself into a brand new cycle. So then when I'm setting the autopilot, it's not in a negative sense and I'm not feel like I'm going to freaking crash and burn. I'm feeling like I'm actually moving towards something and things started to get easier. I noticed my doubt was completely gone. I overthought things less. I was so much more certain in myself. I felt so grounded in everything that I was doing and all areas of my life started to get better. Everything started to increase and I felt so incredibly good within myself. And when I've implemented this exact system with the men that I've worked with clients that have come to Invictus, 3-day men's event, I've implemented this exact system. They come to the event. We do all the release work. We clear everything they need to clear. We take the responsibility. I lead them through the emotional release work. We do all the deep trauma work and everything like that. And then we get to set a plan. And then they leave the event. And then post event, I'm holding them freaking accountable. We're setting the commitments in the real world because we live in a real world. It's one thing to change yourself mentally and change yourself emotionally and do all that work and everything like that. It's all fantastic work. But if you're not implementing the change in the real world, if you're not able to reach out and grab physically the thing, then it's just all woo-woo, spacey, up in the clouds crap. I can reach out and I can grab this pen and I know I'm in the real world. I can grab this notebook and know that I'm real. You need to be able to physically see the result in the real world for you to know that the change has been implemented. And that is why I bang on so much about these cycles and making sure that you're repeating, and conditioning yourself to the changes that you go through. So if you're doubting yourself, or you're overthinking, or you just don't feel good enough right now as a man, take responsibility for it. What are the things that you're doing that are making you not feel good enough? Then make a plan to do something every single day that makes you feel good. What does it make you feel good? Does the sunshine make you feel good? Does getting outdoors make you feel good? Go for a barefoot walk for a minimum of 5 minutes every day. Do it for 30 days and just see how you feel. And you might think, oh, but what if it doesn't work? Well, if it doesn't work, try something else. And if that doesn't work, try something else. Then if that doesn't work, try something else. Because the whole time you're doing something different, you're breaking the old cycle anyway. So you might as well give it a crack. Really appreciate you guys sticking around for this long. And again, I'm so thankful to everyone that's subscribing to this channel. Invictus is coming up in 67 days. So really not that far away, just over 2 months to be held in Victoria, Australia. If you have watched this video and you're like, wow, yeah, I think that is for me, head to the link in my description and fill out the application. We'll have a chat. But if not, thank you guys for sticking around and I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.